Five. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon. It's Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light, episode 13, season 2, and we have a returning guest who's just like a sister with us, Katie Steinle, and we would like you to love this out, share this out, like it up, love it up, share it to your friends. Katie's going to be giving us some really cool information today, some stuff that she's been learning over the past few years. It's really interesting stuff. And also, we'd like you to visit our home pages. Please visit Bex at Divinely Guided Inspirations by Bex Marie, Teresa at Claiming Your Akashic Inheritance, and come and visit us and drop by and say hi, because we love it when you say hi. All our links and Katie's, pardon? Oh, mine is Cerulean Healing Through this, Cerulean Forest Reiki and Healing Through the Records. All our links are on this page and they're in the comments. And if you need to get a hold of us, just private message us. We all do services and we have something for all of you out there. One of us does. And sometimes we do things in the three of us together, and that's really special. So, Teresa, you're going to introduce our very special friend and our guest, the one person who has the best smile, I think, of anyone I know. Honestly, God, you really do have the best smile of anyone I know. Katie Steinle.
Well, once upon a time, not too long ago, before the Akashic Academy became the Akashic Academy that you know, there was all of us. And how many was there of us? Like 12, 13, 14 of us, all in one class, learning together. Our synergy together has led us to whole new worlds, hasn't it? It's opened us up, and many of us have been through so many things since then, but we have always been a support team, and we all came together because of Emily Harrison to learn the Akashic Records. Now, Katie, our friend, she was in sales, but she wanted to take it deeper because she's got this heart that just wants to help humanity, help people. That's who she is. And she wanted to take it deeper. So she's a Reiki master. She is a Qigong master instructor even, and that was really cool. And then of course she's an Akashic Records guide, and now she's doing something that's really, really cool. She's a human design analysis. I mean, this is some interesting stuff. So Katie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with all of you guys. We go way back, like Teresa was saying, and it's just so wonderful to keep in touch over the years with people that you're on a spiritual journey with and support each other and love each other and just watch each other grow. And I'm just so excited to be here because human design has been such a transformative experience for me. And I'm really excited to share it with all of you out there.
Yeah, what exactly is it? What are the energy types? I mean, you've been telling us little bits all along, but man, this stuff sounds interesting.
Yeah, it goes deep. It's basically a combination of a lot of different things. It combines conventional astrology, the chakra system, the Kabbalah tree of life, and the Chinese I Ching, which has been around for like 5,000 years. And basically, it takes all of this together and it shows you a genetic blueprint of the way that your energy is designed and meant to, interact with the world around you. And what happens with us is we get so conditioned over the years of growing up and being in the real world and being influenced by people outside of ourselves and starting to make up stories in our minds about comparison and our worth and our value, and we really lose sight of who we truly are at our core. And so what human design does is it's a very logical system, and it basically will just show you an exact energetic map of the way that you are at your true, real, authentic self. And if you can learn to strip away all the conditioning and get back to that, that's where your energy flows just completely in line with your purpose, with what you're here to meant to, express out into the world. And it just makes life so much easier. You're not resisting, you're not forcing things. Things are flowing. And that's where it can change your life.
Wow. I think that's so fascinating. I'm so glad that you've learned that and brought that to us because this stuff sounds fascinating. I could listen to you all day long.
Oh my gosh, and it goes so deep. I could talk all day long. And that's what I love about it is I've always been, since I've been on this spiritual journey, and just can't seem to get enough of, anything
Yes.
esoteric. A lot of it, it's very out there, and it's the kind of knowing where you can grasp it and you can know it, but to be able to break it down and communicate it out to people in a way that they understand, it can be challenging. And so I love this system because it kind of takes, the complicated and makes it easy. It gives us each an energetic breakout of the aura type that we have and the way that our energy is going to interact with the people and the environments that we're in. And then it actually gives us our own strategy and authority. So it doesn't leave us hanging. Like it gives you the tools that if you apply them, you can start to strip off all those layers and really
Oh my
get back
gosh.
to who you really are. It's kind of like it reminds me of
Oh
like
my
when you go into
gosh.
your closet and like over the years, like you go into your closet
Oh.
one day and you just look around and you're like, oh my God, I don't even like half the stuff that's in my closet. Like I got it because somebody thought that it looked good on me, or I saw it in a magazine, or like I don't even remember when that was like cool to wear that. And so like you just start going through and you just start, like trying to get back to your core basic colors and clothes. Human design's very similar. It gives you the tools to do that. And then you go, "Oh my gosh, this is really who I am and how I'm meant to express myself."
That is so important to be able to go back to our blueprint and it's like looking at the instructions again once you've messed up
Yeah.
something, it's like let's go back and now what was it supposed to be or whatever. You were
Yes.
doing comparisons between the three of us. Can
Right,
you share
right.
some of that? We're all willing,
Yes.
right? Let's do it, guys. What is it?
Okay. Okay, it's so fun. So basically, human design breaks us down into 5 different energetic types. And the first, we can start with Teresa. The first type is a generator. And it's so funny. I was doing Teresa. Of course, she's a generator. It's like Oprah's a generator. It's no wonder you're such a good show host. It just comes natural to you. But generators they're the majority of our planet. They're about 70% of our population.
Oh,
And
really?
generators are here to find out what lights them up because you can tap into this ever flowing well of creative, energetic, just power. You guys have the engine in the car that is lit up and like revved to go. So what's so important for you is to be able to try all the different things in life that you want to try and to be able to figure out what it is that you really, can get passionate about and put your energy behind. Because when you do, you've got so much energy. You can light yourself up. You can light the rest of us up. You're meant to power up the world with your light. Do you
Look,
feel like, does
Teresa.
that resonate with you?
It does.
Yeah.
There's times when I'm not, but when I'm not, that's when I'm depressed, and I want to get back to this. This is a good feeling to be able to inspire myself and inspire others. It's like, woo, let's do this. Yeah, I love it. Woo, thank you.
Yeah, it's because you're doing something that really has engaged your energy at your core. We get so conditioned to think that all of our decisions have to be based in our mind. And really, our body consciousness is going to be our true intuition, our true GPS in life. And so, for instance, with generators, you need to understand that your aura is open and enveloping. So you naturally just pull life towards you. And so your strategy is you're meant to wait to respond to the opportunities that are in front of you. When you're probably taught your whole life, we all are, like, go out and make it happen, be aggressive, get what you want, otherwise you're a loser. But what you can end up doing as a generator is you can waste that precious energy on things that you're not doing because you really want to do them. You're doing them because you feel like you should, somebody's asked you, or there's all kinds of reasons. And so this frees that up when you wait to let life come to you, trust that it's going to pull towards you the right opportunities, the right people, the right places. And then your key, your strategy is to respond with your sacral center. And that's a nonverbal response. If I say, hey, Teresa, do you want to go to the movies? Instead of getting into your head about it and going, well, gosh, I haven't seen Katie in a while. I don't know, I've got a lot going on, it's a nonverbal, trust your gut. Your gut's going to have an immediate reaction. It's either going to go, yeah, I want to go to the movies, or And if you can learn to do that, you will always be lined up with exactly what's supposed to happen. It's beautiful. It makes it easy. We've made it so complicated.
Out of my head and into my gut. Trust my gut more often.
Yes.
Man, that's going to change things. Look out.
It will. It's so fascinating. I will warn you, though, I've talked to a lot of generators that, if you've gone your whole life, learning to shut that off and to think from your mind, it's not necessarily like you start today and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm totally, I'm in line here. It might take you a while of practicing and just, playing with it. And the best way you can do that to start is to just try simple yes or no questions like throughout your day. Because that's going to be easy for your gut to respond to. You come downstairs in the morning and you're like, do I want Cheerios? Okay, well, you know what I mean? But that'll help you. And once you get back into that alignment, it'll just be magic.
Whew, I love that, Katie. See, that is so informative. I love that. And what about my other friends here?
Okay, so Bex is interesting. Bex is a manifester, and she's a pretty rare bird because there's only about 8% of the population that are manifestors. Wow. So go Bex. Yeah. And Bex, basically being a manifester, you're here to initiate things and make things happen, hence the name. You're very lucky because most of us, I think the way that our society is structured is, we're all taught to put, that manifester up on the, little pedestal, and that's what we all aspire to be, somebody that can really go out and make things happen. But for you, it just comes naturally. And your energy, your aura is a little more closed and repelling, and that's not bad. It's meant to, really push energy out of the way and go out and make things happen and clear the path for all of us. Now, what that can mean, though, is just, like when you walk into a room, whether you realize it or not, people probably kind of stop and notice you. It's just your energy. You have that presence. It's just that natural kind of leadership type of energy. And so you might find you being a manifester just see things so simply. If you have an idea or something inspiring comes to mind, you're just like, I'm just going to go do it. And you might see like no roadblocks to it, where the rest of us might be telling you, oh my God, Bex, don't even think about it. There's A, B, and C is going to go wrong. And oh my God. And you just go out and you do it. And sometimes because you're 2 steps ahead of us, we might be a little put off, a little resentful, a little confused, feeling like you're not including us. And so your strategy to just kind of clear the path and get the support of the people around you is just to inform. And it's more for us than it is for you. But basically, it just lets us know what you plan to do, what's going on in your head. And then it allows us to either step out of your way, or at least we can get behind it and go, oh, okay, I get it. That makes sense from your perspective. And clearly you know what you're doing. But just keep that in mind. I don't know. Maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit, Bex.
Oh, well, I mean, I've always had that sense that I'm a manifestor, like that I can make things happen, but I can do it positive or negative, so it depends on where I'm coming from, which is the hard part, is making sure that I'm aligned with the positive energy and not into the, self-defeatism and self-doubt, because just as easily shatter something that I'm working on. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
important about being able to, and that's something I've always noticed is like wherever I put my energy, it comes quickly, whether it's good or bad. If I think, oh no, this is going to fall apart and I worry about it, it's going to fall apart, so I really have to be more mindful of it. But I know when something's happening, I feel it. Like I can feel when the good stuff's coming and I'm really manifesting something big, I can feel it. Like through my whole body, I feel the energy moving very quickly. And it's like a buildup of, energy that's being put into this coming into fruition. That's just something that I've always noticed, but I didn't ever have a real way to explain it, I guess. Does that help?
Right.
And
Yes.
like
It's
when
very
you get some of
helpful.
those cool guests on our show too,
Yeah,
there's a lot of background work that goes on, but you feel it. You
I do.
feel
I
it when
feel
it's
it.
going to happen, and you bring it in. So, whew.
Yeah, it's a
Isn't
pretty
that
cool
cool that you
thing.
can see her? Yeah, you can see it in action. And
Yeah.
Bex, it comes so natural to you, but the rest of us are just like, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody needs a Bex in their life.
it's funny though, because I've actually had people tell me that my energy is very intimidating. And
Yep.
I'm like,
That's what she's saying.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like I never understood that. And I guess what you're saying makes sense because it's like I am very selective, with who I interact with. Does that make sense too? Like I just am because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to pull that energy in. So I'm very
Makes
selective
sense.
about that. And so it is kind of closed off, I find sometimes. I try to open it up more, but then I find myself going right back into, being in my space.
Stick with your blueprint.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Or what you'll find, Bex, now that you're aware of this, and like you said, you've got a language for it and a way to navigate it, is you'll find a real sense of peace when you can start to inform people. Especially when you walk into a room and you feel like people are a little like, it's almost like we step back. It's just knowing it's just your mechanics and it's just your energy. It takes that pressure off, and you can go, okay, that's why they're doing it. It's nothing I'm doing wrong, because that is true about manifestors. They can be their own worst enemies and shut themselves off from their gifts.
yeah.
And even just being raised, I'm sure your parents were always saying, oh, no, now you can't. No, you think you can do that, but you really can't. You need to do it this way. So you've got a lot of conditioning to overcome, but that's okay. I mean, we all do. It's just beautiful when you can just get these tools and learn how to start to align.
Yeah, it is. And being part of the show has really helped me to be able to flex my
Woohoo.
manifestor muscles. So,
Yes.
I mean, I haven't gotten the Dalai Lama yet, but we're working our way up. So it's happening.
But you've
Baby
gotten some
steps.
Yeah.
Right on over.
I emailed him. He just hasn't responded yet. We're
I like how
reaching.
you say it's not a no. He
Yeah,
just hasn't
it's just not
received it
happening
yet.
yet. It's coming.
Exactly. It's gonna
It's hard to get a
happen. We
hold
got
of. Just
Bex
keep
here.
trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That is
Okay,
good.
so the next type it's a hybrid type. It's actually a manifesting generator. So it's kind of a combination of what we just talked about with Teresa and Bex. Just to give you an example of like somebody you can relate with, like Tony Robbins is a manifesting generator.
Oh.
And manifesting generators are really cool. I mean, they're kind of like a superpower because they've got the best of both worlds. So they can put a lot of energy behind something, and they have some manifesting abilities. So what manifesting generators can do, and probably if anybody out there knows this about themselves, is they can just feel like they're all over the place because there's so many cool things that kind of spark their attention, and
It's like
they've got
Emily.
the energy to be able to really get behind a lot of different things. So they're very multifaceted, and it's really cool to watch because they can do like Rhonda and I, we're a little bit more non-energetic types, so we can look at people that are manifesting generators, and it just blows our mind. But basically, the key with them is ultimately they are a generator. They are meant to wait to respond to what is put before them, because sometimes when you're going out and you're doing 5 or 10 different things, it's great and you can do it. But when you think about you're diffusing your energy, and instead of giving 20%, to 5 different things, if you can really get, a couple key things, you can really power those up, and it can sustain you for a very satisfied, long and prosperous life. So just keep that in mind if you are a manifesting generator. And just to throw it out, if anybody isn't really aware of what energetic type they are, they want to know a little bit more about this, you can go to a website called mybodygraph.com, and for free you can just download your basic energetic blueprint, and it'll give you some bare bones, essentials to kind of get you off and running.
And then come to see you for the rest.
Yeah, or they can come to
Right,
you.
right. Yeah, because just to warn you, the stuff that you get on the web, it's kind of like when with astrology, you can go and find out kind of like, oh, I'm a Leo, and it'll give you kind of like a general overview. But yeah, if you really want to know how your energies like truly mix and play together and really go down to the core of who you are, it's best to get an actual chart analysis or reading. And we can talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, the last type is the projector type, and that's Rhonda and I. And we're considered non-energetic beings. We do not have a consistent access to life force energy. And so what we tend to do is our auras and our energy fields, we are very focused and absorbing, and we're here to learn about the other. We learn about ourselves through the other. And so I'm sure there's times where, somebody's walked up to you at a party and it's like you don't even know them, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, this person's like looking right through me, like right down to my core. Like, what the heck? I bet that's a projector. Their aura, you can tell, you can feel they're good one-on-one. They really, want to get to know you. And, sometimes that could be a little intimidating, but that's just how we learn. And so we are meant to be the guides out there. We can become very wise from, all the energy that we're taking in from other people and our environments. And we're really good at mastering systems. And we're like the birds that are in the trees or maybe on the rooftops looking down. We're observing everybody. The generators are out there building and creating, and manifestors are initiating movements and making change happen in the world. And we're the ones that are like, you might want to tweak things a little bit this way, or, what about that? However, if we aren't following our strategy and waiting to be invited for our guidance and our advice, people might not be ready to hear it. They might not be in a place where they really want our guidance. And so
that took a lot of years.
Make us vulnerable, So it's like we really need to trust that we will be recognized for who we are when the time is right. And when people recognize us, they will ask our guidance, and we do have some powerful insight. Just a little tip for you guys. If anybody does know a projector, go up to them and start asking them about things. And I bet you'll find that, they actually know what they're talking about, or, can give you some good perspective on things. So yeah. Oh, and there's one more type.
Laughing at me right now. The other two are laughing.
No, we're not laughing.
I've got stories.
Rhonda always knows how to work through a situation. She always has this amazing, wise insight. And we always say that she's an old soul, like she's been around for 60,000 years, because nothing phases her. She just knows exactly what you should do to get through things. And Teresa and I are like, she'll be like, you guys need to eat healthy, or you need to exercise. We're like,
and we want to ignore that, but it always turns around and it comes back to, oh my God, I should have listened to Rhonda 3 weeks ago when she told me this.
That's our line now. We should have listened to Rhonda. Yep.
And my doctor, oh my God, said, you should be listening to Rhonda. No.
I love it. See, isn't this beautiful? It just there's such like a sense of relief when you go, that's just who I am. And I'm just being me. And I think like the problem that we run into is from the time that we're born, we're taught to be like everybody else. It's all about fitting in, and this is the way that life is supposed to work. And you don't want to be unique, especially like when you're a teenager in high school, like that's the worst thing ever, So it's just wonderful when we can really get back to the core of it and to honor our uniqueness and to honor how we complement each other. I just love how there's 3 of you on this show, and you're all very different, and you all have different things that you bring to the table, like you just said, and that's what makes you all so successful. You've recognized that, like you're ahead of everybody else. Beautiful.
We're just having fun.
We just having fun.
We're
Yeah.
having fun. That's it. We're just having fun.
Because you're not creating resistance, right? You're just, you're in your flow because you're letting the manifestor manifest, you're letting the generator generate, and then the projector's projecting. It's like beautiful. So
Yeah.
that's why
Harmony. It's
harmony.
harmony.
Your guests feel very welcome. Let me just mention, just so I don't leave anybody out, there is one more type. They're extremely rare. They're called the reflector, and they only compromise about 1% of the population. So if anybody out there is a reflector, I would love to hear from you. I've only met one, that was aware they were a reflector, and it was so fascinating and such a treat to be able to interact with them. They are very special. And the thing that makes them special is the reflectors, their energy is aligned with the lunar cycle and the moon. The rest of us are all solar beings. So they have just a different approach. And their aura and their energetic field is going to be, it's resilient. It's made to go out and just sample the environment and the people and to basically reflect back to you who you really are. And so they can be a really key part of a community because you can really tell if a tribe or a group is healthy based on the reflector. They're kind of like the barometer for the group. So the beautiful thing about them is they are completely open when we show you a chart. So they just take in, well, I won't even say take in because their aura is resilient so that it doesn't stick. Like Teflon, it just goes through them, and then they can reflect that back and be pleasantly surprised by how different we all are and how different, each day is. And then they move on to the next day. And so they're just a really unique, cool group.
That's awesome. My cousin's actually a reflector, and as you're talking about it, she's like a chameleon. Everybody she spends time with, she develops, she'll reflect their behaviors here and there, their attitudes, their personality traits. Like there's things about it that you can see her, and then, like it won't stay, but you can definitely see where things will start to pop up. And she's like a chameleon. She kind of blends wherever she goes. It's funny how I never thought about it like that before, but that makes total sense. Absolutely.
I have a
Wow,
question.
you're lucky to know one.
Yeah.
Are people are they just one type, or can they be blends too, like depending too, like how you can be Aries whatever and you can be Pisces whatever, but
No, there's just the 5 basic types, but then there's a million intricate possibilities within each type, and that's where you get into your genetic blueprint. The only hybrid is the manifesting generator.
okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is Emily? What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's tough. It's tough because I've been surprised, depending on how conditioned people are, if they're acting, according to their nature versus, playing a role for other people. It's very surprising. It's very surprising. So I would say she's got to have some generator in her just to be able to power up the level of bandwidth she's been able to power up relatively quickly. So, and yeah, I think her aura is very open and enveloping. She's all about, just bringing people in. So I'm going to guess she's probably a generator or a manifesting generator. But Emily, let me know if you're watching. I would love to run your chart. And
so, Katie, because we're getting near the end, I want to just describe your work and what you do, and I'll show what you kind of produce from when your work. And
okay,
you tell us what
why don't you put up the mandala, and we can just give people some insight. Basically,
not that
Rhonda was doodling.
Oh, is that the one I need? Do I need the Tom Cruise?
She made a cute little happy face on.
There. Is that there?
Or show them the mandala first.
Okay, I will show
the one that is in the center of your screen.
There.
That says human
there.
design.
Yeah.
How's that one?
Nope, that's the chart.
Oh, that's the chart?
The really colorful, that one. Yes. Just to give you an overview. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of what the human design wheel system looks like. And I mentioned before, there is the I Ching. It's been around for 5,000 years. And that is on the outside, you'll see all those little hexagrams going around.
Yeah.
And those are basically all the different combinations of yin and yang energies. And they're out there in the universe of life. And depending on the moment of birth, when you entered into this world, this marks and tracks your genetic imprint based on the position of the hexagrams, the positions of the planets. And you'll see in the center, the body graph, you'll see these triangles and these different shapes. And those are they're similar to the chakra system that I mentioned in the beginning. They're your energy hubs, and that whether they're colored in or whether they're white or open is whether you're putting your life force energy out or you're taking in and absorbing energy from outside you. And then the hexagrams that you can see in the numbers on the outside of the wheel there's 64 of the hexagrams. And what's really fascinating is, like I said, that is ancient. It's like over 5,000 years old. And they've actually been able to find a correlation between the I Ching hexagrams and the codons of our DNA. And so that's one of the reasons I think that human design, when you are, investigating your chart, it hits you deep. And I think it's because this is hitting you on a cellular level. I mean, there's things, because this goes into your subconscious, that you aren't even consciously aware of about yourself that this points out. And so it's just so fascinating. And so that's kind of like what it looks like as an overview. And then if in each of these little shapes and these little centers, you'll see a number, and these are the gates of those hexagrams. So where the imprinting occurs, you will see it either defined or undefined. And so, Rhonda, do we have time for you to show the next chart?
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny, I pulled up Tom Cruise, so I figured it'd be something, everybody could.
Is this the crazy part? No, sorry. Just thought I'd ask.
So basically, this is your chart, and can you scroll up and just show people the top? Yeah, this is where it's going to say your type. We went over the manifestor. Your profile is very important. I mentioned, and you saw the hexagrams with the 6 lines. Each line of those hexagrams is very significant and has a lot of influence and imprint on who you are and how you are going to play out in the world. And so those numbers are basically the lines of the hexagram that you are. So Tom is a second line and a fifth line. And then we talked about we each have our own inner authority to listen to. His is his solar plexus. And if we can get in touch with that and then follow our strategy, he's a manifester. So like I was telling Bex, he needs to inform. Clearly, Tom Cruise can go out and make things happen, but he needs to.
He likes to inform
let
too.
us know what his intentions are, so that we can get out of the way, or we can, help support him and go to his movies. So, anyways, if you scroll down, back to, can you scroll down a little bit, if you don't mind, Rhonda, just to get,
Is that good?
So you can see that this is a binary system. We have on the right, we have some hexagrams in black, and then on the left we have some in red, and those are the colored in lines and things that are going on in the body graph. And the black is our personality side. It's what we're consciously aware of. It's kind of like, for me, if you asked me to describe myself, I would pull from the personality side. The red are things in us that are from our subconscious, and it's just how our body's going to naturally play out. We might not be as aware of those, and so it's interesting. The red is where you can really learn about yourself, and for me, it was kind of like the red was more, if you ask somebody else to describe me, they might describe me, and I'm sure this has happened to you, where people are saying things about you, and you're like, really? I don't know. Is that me? But it's funny, if you sit with it for a while, it'll start to kind of resonate, and you go, oh yeah, okay, I guess I see that about myself. So it's just interesting to have like both perspectives. It kind of helps, complete you and make you feel whole. And when you feel whole, you don't need to go outside yourself for anything, for any conditioning, for any, influence. You can let your body lead the way. And that's when you find the right direction, the right love, the right people. You just naturally align with where you're meant to be. And that's why life seems to get so much easier when you can live according to your human design.
Woohoo.
And I can see how your brain, why you need an analyst to interpret all this, because you need somebody who knows how to do this and then how to interpret it all and go through it with you. And with your intuition and everything else and on your really great mind, I can see how you do this. It's just like, they're more than pretty pictures. They are very pretty.
They are more than pretty pictures. And it's funny, I actually found out I am a mental projector, which is a special type of projector that is all about, definitely mastering systems and providing guidance at a very high level. So it's just lined up with what I love, and it's just a huge part of my life. And I hope for anybody out there that was wondering about human design, you're starting to hear about it. It's been around for years, but it's really now, it's the time where we're at that it needs to come out. And so, I'm happy to talk with you further. If you need to reach out to me, check out my website. It's just katiesteinle.com. And I know Steinle's a tricky one. Everybody wants to put a Y on it, but it's STEINLE. So katiesteinle.com. And hopefully I'll be able to come back on the show and we can go deeper, because I just barely tapped the surface today.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much, Katie. And I put all your links. I put all your links in the comments that are attached. And if anybody has some questions, put them in. Katie will go through them and see if she can answer some of them for you. And also, you can just get in touch with her through her contacts on her webpage. It's a very nice, clean, cool webpage.
Fascinating, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much. And you didn't go psycho colors this time. We kept the energy focused, and we didn't bring in portals like that this time.
That was a funny story for anybody that didn't see. They were just telling me, I think it was almost a year to the day, it was the first time I was on with them. And sometimes when you're working with energy, crazy things can happen. And so we were doing a Qigong show, and we didn't even realize it, but the entire show went like Technicolor. It was a trip.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we've only had it with one other person, and that was Laura Eisenhower when she came on. She went Technicolor, forces at work. So it's pretty cool. We called in all the help today. So
I love that we were morphing into each other too. One face would morph into another face, and then we go back and forth.
That was
and that
weird.
was so cool.
So if you guys just check it out on our YouTube channel, just search Katie Steinle Qigong, and you can check out that really cool YouTube video that we have on the Spirit Sessions YouTube channel, and like and subscribe to that, because that really helps us out.
Yes, please.
Okay. Katie does this for walk-ins. Do you do this for walk-ins? You just go to her site and make an appointment with Katie, and she'll do it for you. So, it's quite reasonable.
Yeah, I'm here in Seattle, Washington. So sure, if you're local, absolutely. That would just be so much more fun to get our energies interacting, live. But most of mine are done, via Zoom or something like that. So yeah, time and space does not matter.
No, it doesn't. Okay, Bex, you given our closing comments. Announcements.
Thank you, Katie, for coming. We love having you on, and it's like coming home every time. We just get to hang out with a blessed soul and share you with everybody and show you off. And we can't wait to have you back. So thank you for sharing that.
I can't wait to be back.
Yeah, it's so much information, and I'm definitely considering connecting with you to get one done myself, because to be able to work with the energies and work with the blueprint and know who we really are, underneath all of the shit we accumulate, is what we're all trying to achieve, and you have the ability to help us achieve that. So that's a powerful tool to have. So that's exciting. Yay! I'm so happy for you that you're doing this. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so funny because with my Qigong, we tend to work with the hexagrams, and it was a hexagram meditation that led me to human design. And it's just, that's when like it was just meant to be. I just feel it in my bones. And I'm just so grateful for you all allowing me to get the word out.
It's our pleasure. Absolutely.
For
All
sure.
right. Announcements. So don't forget to share this episode out so you can win a chance at a reading with Rhonda Elliott. She does a healing through your records reading. And so whoever shares out the most this week will win, and we'll announce that next week. The winner of last week's Share It Out won a reading with Teresa Warren. So congratulations, Kenzel Mitchell. You won a reading with Teresa, and Teresa will contact you to set that up. Since we don't have Kathy Homeyer on today, I got to edit myself a little bit.
Yes.
The Cosmic Ascension Report is what's coming up next, but that's at either 8 p.m. Eastern or 9 p.m. Eastern, depending on...
I think they've had the time change. I think it's 8 p.m.
Yeah.
when I checked
It's been
it
a little confusing with the time difference because Australia changes differently than we do. But that's with Janelle Cameron, and that's an amazing, amazing show, so check that out. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific is Beauty at the Heart with Sarah Lillian. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow is Nourishing Your Multidimensional Body with Kathy Homeyer. So she just moved a day ahead. And then we have Let's Tap with Suzanne Gunderson at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow evening. So we've got a lot more shows filling up the time slots. There's always something amazing to watch. And if you've noticed, we are all now starting to have replays. So you can check out multiple shows every day. It's a fun way for us to really fill it up and fill up the newsfeed with more positive content, more enlightening information, and hang out more, So don't forget to, say hi on the replays as well. If you see that we're not live, it's okay. We'll see your comments, and we love to hear from you all. So hit us up. And I think then there's the Akashic Magazine.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, our replays tomorrow. Is that?
No,
tomorrow comes
our
out.
Akashic
Okay.
Academy, the new magazine.
The magazine comes out tomorrow. That's right. I forget when it comes out.
The
So
Rise
you guys
of
get
the
on
Light
it.
Worker.
Yes, awesome. So that will be free. It'll be released tomorrow, and you can find it at the AkashicAcademy.com. There's a link to download it, and then there's the Akashic membership, which is $44.44 a month to get into the inside group where you can get weekly intuitive classes with Emily Harrison, Mindful Mondays with Coach Nick, new moon and full moon ceremonies. We're all in there, so you can hang out with all of us more because we just like having fun and connecting with everybody. So yeah, we love having you all here, and we appreciate you all so much, and we wish you a blessed week. I think that's everything.
Yeah, thanks. We'll see you again, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, don't say bye till I get it to the end. No, goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody.